Previously, Zan had been attacked and defeated a bug, only to be ambushed once again. However, Yue quickly pointed out that the person who had attacked them was one of Zhao's men. Zan, understanding the situation, realized where Yifen was headed. At Zhao's office, Zhao was enjoying himself. But suddenly, the door burst open as Yifen kicked it down, his voice cutting through the air as he declared that he had been looking for Zhao. Now to this week's chapter. Yifen revealed that Zhao had eliminated Yiming and seized the position of captain. Afterward, Zhao used parasite bugs to infect exceptionally talented awakeners and their contracted spirits. Yifen cried out in anger, questioning how Zhao could even think of committing such a crime and attempting to escape justice. Feeling pressured, Zhao dismissed Yifen's accusations and mocked him instead. He questioned whether Yifen was not just Yiming's useless younger brother. Zhao sneered, pointing out that Yifen had already lost his woman, saying he should have stayed hidden to recover. Yet, here he was, causing a scene. Yifen's demeanor shifted as he recalled the loss of his partner, his grief turning into cold resolve. Blaming Zhao for his suffering, he spoke in a firm voice, declaring that he had come to settle the score. Zhao shrugged off the accusation, claiming he was not to blame. Instead, he argued that women who lacked the strength to survive were simply unlucky. As his men appeared at the door, Zhao's confidence grew. Smirking, he pointed out how long Yifen had been standing there talking to him. He then questioned whether Yifen wasn't afraid of reinforcements arriving. As Zhao's men surrounded Yifen, they asked their captain if he was unharmed. Standing firm, Yifen remained unshaken. Zhao pointed at him and declared that this man had dared to openly attack a member of the Guardians. Without hesitation, Zhao ordered his men to get rid of him immediately. The group launched their assault, and Yifen gritted his teeth, realizing the challenge ahead. With a sharp tone, he countered Zhao's claim, stating that Zhao was the one who had attacked first. Activating his skill, Yifen vowed to take them all down. Suddenly, Zhao's group arrived, bursting through the outer door with a deafening crash. They launched a swift attack on Zhao's men, sending them flying and writhing in pain. Zhao stood frozen in shock, questioning why Zan had shown up. His mind raced as he began to suspect he had been set up. Realizing he lacked the strength to confront Zan, Zhao started plotting an escape. Meanwhile, Yifen was equally baffled by Zhan's sudden arrival. Before he could ask, Zhan smirked and mocked him, saying that if they hadn't stepped in, they would have been stuck watching Yifen get beaten around on his own. Yifen was left speechless, a mix of irritation and gratitude crossing his mind as he wondered how long Zhan had been watching the entire scene unfold. Zhao, desperate to regain control of the situation, questioned Zhan directly. "Are you sure you're willing to go along with this attack?" he asked, trying to gauge Zhan's intentions. Zhan's response was calm but firm. "I only have a problem with you, Zhao. Anyone who values their life should leave now and stay out of my way." Zhao scoffed, unfazed. "You're not going to leave here," he sneered, ordering his men to attack. Zhao, visibly unsettled, questioned Zhan, asking if he was truly willing to go through with this attack. Zhan, unfazed, replied that his issue was only with Zhao. He added coldly that anyone who didn't want to lose their life should leave now and stay out of his way. Ignoring the warning, Zhao scoffed, claiming Zhan wouldn't make it out alive. He ordered his men to attack. As they charged, Zhan simply smiled, his expression calm and unbothered. To him, it felt as though they were all moving in slow motion. In that moment, Zhan's thoughts drifted to the night he had shared his spirit energy with Yue and Li. After that night, his connection to his spirit energy had become far more refined, giving him a sense of control and clarity that he now wielded with ease. In an instant, Zhan launched his attack, cutting through Zhao's men without relying on his partners. Moving with precision and overwhelming power, he dismantled the opposition. Moments later, he landed gracefully back on the ground, surrounded by Zhao's men, all unconscious and sprawled out. Yifen watched in astonishment, realizing how much stronger Zhan had become since their battle with the Veiled Boss. Meanwhile, Zhao seized the opportunity to escape amidst the chaos. However, Li caught sight of him and pointed, shouting that Zhao was trying to run away. Seeing this, Zhan acted quickly, dashing toward Zhao with blinding speed. As he caught up, he asked Zhao where he thought he was going. Zhao gritted his teeth, his mind racing to find a way out of the dire situation. Before he could act, Zhan landed in front of him, cutting off his escape. With a cold glare, Zan stated that Zhao needed to accept his fate, as he had brought this upon himself. Desperate, Zhao tried to spark a conversation to stall for time, but his efforts were futile. It was already too late. Zan had heard enough. With a swift motion, he attacked Zhao, not giving him a chance to react. Zhao, unable to believe that all his careful planning was about to unravel because of the young man in front of him, struggled to stay standing. With his last breath, Zhao starts to curse at Zan, stating that he would have controlled everything if it hadn't been for him. As the words left his lips, he fell backward, his body slumping to the ground, defeated. As Zhao lay there, a parasite bug suddenly shot out of his head at an incredible speed, making a beeline for the door in an attempt to escape. Zan, having anticipated this move, caught sight of the bug just as it sped toward the exit. He called out to the others, warning them to be cautious. Then, with precise timing, Zan struck. With a burst of speed, he punched the bug into the wall, the force of his strike pinning it there. The parasite bug was crushed, its escape thwarted in an instant. As Zan pulled his hand away from the wall, he stood momentarily confused. Something felt off. He had expected Zhao's bug to be the mother parasite, the key to the entire infestation. But now, looking at the remains of the parasite, Zan realized it wasn't the monster he had anticipated. With a deep furrow in his brow, Zan questioned aloud, wondering if Zhao hadn't been in possession of the mother parasite after all. If not him, then who? The unsettling thought lingered in his mind. Who truly controlled the parasite swarm? Zan had no time to think as more of Zhao's men arrived, their eyes widening in shock when they saw their captain's lifeless body on the ground. One member screamed in disbelief, unable to comprehend that Zan had actually taken down Captain Zhao. Another, more composed, questioned Zan, asking if he truly believed the Guardians would let him get away with this, reminding him that they were the most powerful group in Deep Blue City. Zan glanced at them, his thoughts racing. The speed at which these reinforcements had arrived was unsettling. It didn't add up. He realized with a chilling certainty that this had all been part of someone's plan from the start. Turning to his team, Zan grimly commented that things had just taken a turn for the worse. It was clear now, they had all fallen into someone's trap. Zan tightened his grip, his eyes hardening with determination. He turned to his team and firmly stated that they would take down all of Zhao's men first, ensuring no one remained to interfere. Only after that, he said, would they decide on the best course of action moving forward. Meanwhile, half an hour earlier, a person approached the mayor, holding a stack of documents. She spoke politely, informing him that she had some paperwork for him to review and asking if he could sign them as well. The mayor looked over at her with a smile and kindly asked if she could bring the documents to him. However, that wasn't what she was focused on. A parasite bug was lodged in the mayor's head, and as the realization hit her, panic surged through her. She understood that she was in grave danger and wondered if the mayor was even aware of it. But before she could make sense of the situation, it was too late. In an instant, the mayor acted swiftly, and all she could do was scream, as he took care of her in a cold, efficient manner. Meanwhile, back with John's group, they had successfully taken down Zhao's men and were now discussing their next move. Zan, his expression serious, stated that things would only get worse from here. He told his team that they needed to leave quickly and find his master, as his master would be the one capable of handling the escalating situation. Before he could continue, Yue called out, firmly stating that she would go with him, whether he liked it or not. The other two nodded in agreement, showing their support. With no time to waste, they all turned to leave Zhao's office, knowing they had to act fast. Meanwhile, back at the mayor's office, the mayor called over a soldier and calmly stated that Han Zan, the Deep Blue captain of Unit 527, was the main suspect in the downfall of Squad 1's acting captain, Zhao Hu. He declared that Zan was now wanted throughout the entire city and commanded the soldier to pass the order to the others. As the soldier left, the mayor's smile twisted into something far more sinister. He thought to himself, darkly recalling how he had deliberately left clues behind to lead Zan to Zhao. The mayor chuckled, finding amusement in how effortlessly he had lured Zan into his trap. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like. It really helps me out.